Welcome to your HTML coding course. In this first chapter, we'll lay the foundation by understanding what HTML is and how it powers the entire web. HTML, or Hypertext Markup Language, is the standard language used to create and design content for the web. Think of it as the skeleton of a web page. It provides the structure for everything you see, from the text you're reading now to the images and the links you can click on. HTML is the backbone of the internet. Every single web page you've ever visited uses HTML in some form. Whether it's a simple blog, a complex news portal, or even the dashboard of an AI tool, HTML provides the fundamental structure that makes it all possible. The web, or World Wide Web, is a vast system of interconnected documents and resources that you can access through the internet. These pages are primarily built using HTML. But it doesn't stop there. They are often styled with CSS, which controls the visual appearance, and made interactive with JavaScript, which adds dynamic behavior. Let's take a quick look at what happens when you visit a website. First, you type a website address like www.example.com into your browser. Your browser then sends a request over the internet to a special computer called a server, where the website's files are stored. The server then sends back the HTML, CSS, and JavaScript files to your browser, and finally your browser reads the HTML and displays the web page on your screen. Now let's look at the basic structure of an HTML document. Every HTML page starts with the declaration, which tells the browser that this is an HTML5 document. Next we have the tag, which is the root element of every HTML page. Inside the tag we have two main sections, the and the. The section contains meta information about the HTML document, such as the which appears in the Browser tab, and links to CSS or JavaScript files. Then, we have the tag. This is where all the visible content of your web page goes, like headings, paragraphs, images, and more. Inside the, we have elements like which creates a main heading and which creates a paragraph. Let's clarify some essential terminology. An element is a complete piece of HTML code, including the opening tag, the content, and the closing tag, for example. A tag is the code inside the angle brackets, like the opening tag, and the closing tag. Most elements have both opening and closing tags. Finally, an attribute provides additional information about an element. For instance, in is an attribute that specifies the link's destination. Here's a fun fact for you. The very first web page ever created is still online. It was published by Tim Berners-Lee in 1991. You can even visit it yourself at the link shown on the screen. Now let's get some hands-on practice. Open a simple text editor on your computer like VS Code, Sublime Text, or even Notepad++. Then copy and paste the following basic HTML code into the editor. Display the code clearly. Save this file as. Make sure you save it with the extension. Once saved, navigate to the location where you saved the file using your computer's File Explorer and double-click on. This will open the file in your default web browser and you should see your first web page. To summarize what we've learned in this chapter, HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language. It is the fundamental language used to structure the content of web pages. Every website you interact with is built upon HTML. Understanding HTML is the very first and crucial step on your journey to becoming a web developer and eventually a pro coder. Thank you for joining this first chapter of our HTML coding course. We hope you found it informative. In the next chapter, we'll dive deeper into more HTML elements and tags. Don't forget to practice what you've learned today. This video was brought to you by Syed Mohd John Rizvi.